Okay, so boom, that time somebody told me they had whooped my daddy before at Brushy Mountain. So y'all done heard me tell all kind of stories about my pops. Now I ain't gonna lie, I used to sit in the cell and wonder all the time about 101 fights because my daddy was the nine trade. You don't know what the nine trade is, and let me know you ain't never been affiliated. You ain't never been affiliated with the guys. I advise you to never to become affiliated with the guys or anything else. I ain't never heard him talk about 101 fights until after this was exposed. Matter of fact, I ain't never had none of the guys that was familiar with my daddy tell me about 101 fights. All the things that was told to me about my daddy was his leadership ability, how much he was respected, how wise he was, how he diffused and de-escalated situations, how he had moves, how he made money. Like, I heard a lot of great things, but I ain't never heard no situation where somebody disrespected my daddy, you know what I'm saying, on a one-on-one. He had to go ahead and handle his business, win, lose, or draw. Had never heard that. So as a vice lord at Turnerson, at Northeast, who had retired as well, you know what I'm saying, seeing him and my daddy kick it all the time. Matter of fact, he come up to the cell, use the phone, they'll reminisce, talk about stories, but it had never came to the forefront about him and my daddy had got into it before. But what I knew something that they had in common was that they both had lost they moms when they was young. And it had something to do with, similar to my granny. If you ain't never heard me talk about my granny Barbara, which is my daddy's mama, you know what I'm saying, it's rumored that somebody took her life, you know what I'm saying, overdosed her, had put some dog food, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of her body, man, and it overdosed and took her life. After that, and I appreciate the comments ahead of time, because I know y'all gonna get in the comment. My daddy went a long time without talking. Like, it traumatized him. Like, it messed my pops up. You know what I'm saying? When my granny had passed. If you heard my song when I say I never got to meet my granny, she was murdered. That's what I'm talking about, my granny Barbara. So, you know what I'm saying? I know how my pops is, especially when it comes to people's relationship with their mama. You know what I'm saying? Because he lost his at a young age. So, and I used to hear them, you know what I'm saying, and they had a great relationship, they had a great rapport, they had a bond. I could tell, you know what I'm saying, they respected each other too. But I'm thinking in my mind, maybe if my daddy did lose this fight, maybe that's why he didn't, because when dude said it, I took it as, oh, my dad ain't never said that, y'all cool, you know what I'm saying, he done got the best of my pops, but at the same, so I don't know if he being playful and he just threw it out there because he don't know. Maybe my daddy done said to me before, yeah, I done, you know what I'm saying, when he walked out and said, yeah, you know, I had to put them hands on him before. Maybe he don't know if my daddy done said something, he just trying to read me to see if my daddy done told me that story. But my dad ain't never said nothing, so now that he's saying it, I'm thinking, oh, my dad ain't never told me about that, but maybe that's just something in history my daddy didn't want to touch on. It's a lot of things I know my pops ain't told me, you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't his story to tell and what it was until somebody else exposed it. When that door is open, because some people say they believe there's a time for everything. I'm one of them people. You can see something in somebody and just know right now ain't the time to say it. Over time, that person may crack and say something because they probably realize you see something too. They probably been wanting you to say it. The moment just never presented itself, and then it presented itself and you start off with, man, you know, I always, you know what I'm saying, or I've been wanting to, and then it's just the right opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to have that conversation. So I'm punishing somebody in chess, you know what I'm saying, and the retired vice lord dude, him and my daddy used to play chess, you know what I'm saying, he's sitting there watching me, he said me, you good like your dad, I see you play just like your dad, real meticulous, real, you know what I'm saying, you like to talk, get in people's mind, all this old stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, and I'm talking, man, I can't beat you if you don't move your piece, you know what I'm saying, I'm really shining now, because now I got somebody else peeping the skill on the chessboard, right? So when he was like, you know, I punch on your dad like that before in real life. The what? The dude I'm playing with, he was like, who, Big Joe? Now I'm like, hold on, dude, you don't say it too much. So I'm thinking, man, who play on me? And then try to throw my game off, you know what I'm saying? And I finish up the game, dude get up, he gotta run, he run in his cell, he finna go to the microwave open, right? He run to his microwave. He was like, I would sit down there and play you, but I probably done got in your head now telling you I done whooped your daddy before. I said, hey, man, quit. Hey, Fi, quit playing with me for real. He was like, man, nah. He was like, your dad ain't never told you the story. I said, you for real? He said, yeah, man, me and your dad got to fight down there in Brushy Mountain. You know, we really didn't have no choice, you know what I'm saying? Everybody had to catch a sale with Fi there. He said, man, I did one of the folk real bad. He said, your dad ain't never told you that? Man, the time you me and your dad and I done came over and kicked it with your dad, I figured he been told you that. I just didn't bring it up. I wait for him. I like, nah, my dad ain't never told me nobody done whooped him before. I said, man, I'm gonna have to ask him. He said, yeah, when he get out, go on, make sure you ask him about it. Make sure you ask him about it. When my dad get out of work, I'm in somebody else's cell. 5 done went up here to holler at my dad. He done went to the shower, got out of the shower. 5 done went up here to holler at my daddy. So I come out of the cell. I'm finna go up here. My daddy standing on the rail. Look, my daddy standing on the rail, right? I'm coming up the stairs. I said, man, yeah, I got a bone to pick with you, man. He was like, man, well, don't start that, boo. Don't start that. I said, man, you done got whooped in here before? When I get close to him, he was like, whooped? What you talking about? I said, man, you done let Fi whoop you here before? I said, man, he told me earlier, man, y'all had to, you know what I'm saying, catch the sand one time. She ain't gonna beat you up, man. He done told me down there when I'm down here playing chess, done told me he had to beat you up. He said, who told you that? So I tell him, you know what I'm saying, the brother that the 5 that done retired. I'm not knowing 5 is in the cell on the phone. He needed to use the phone. My daddy done gave him some privacy. He said, hey, quit playing. Hey, he tapped on the door. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, come on, man. Come on, hurry up. My dad, I said, oh, he in the cell? He said, yeah, he finna come on up out the phone. My daddy popped the door. Hey, when he walk in, this man is using our toilet. He on the phone. He got his pants down to his knee. He on the phone. Oh, my bad, Joe. My daddy said, hey, you in the back? My dad closed the door, right? Blue. My dad said, boy, I said, this your chance. Look, I said, this your chance to get up on him. Just to get your one up. You know what I'm saying? He already said, what you want. You don't want to put your hands on me in there using my bathroom. That's gonna show me that you done got whooped before. Boo, listen, I'm not finna be playing these games with you, man. Me and that man ain't even never got to fight. I said, why he said he whooped you? He said, this hold on, we hear the toilet. The toilet flush, water running. Boom, he cracked the door. He done put some oil on the lamp and everything. We walk in the cell, man, bless his head. I'm waiting to let my daddy check him because I'm finna check him so hard. You already say you done whoop my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm really finna try to see what's up with you, right? I'm finna defend our honor. You know what I'm saying? This legacy, this lineage right here. Cause I don't know what you got going on, cuz. so we're going to say, my dad said, man, why is you using the bathroom in our cell, man? He tell my daddy, man, I've been drinking that music. What was it? Metamucil. I've been drinking that Metamucil, man. My stomach, you know, I've been going down there to the doctor, Joe T. Man, they done gave me that and gave me some Metamucil. No, I done ordered me some out coming because I've been clogged up, Joe T. I'm sitting here on the phone and it just happened. I wouldn't have made it to the cell, Joe T. You know, I wouldn't even do nothing like that, man. I said, man, he said, man, I just couldn't hold it, man. I just wanted to jump on there real quick. I was going to let it run out, broom flush the toilet. You wouldn't even know. I put the oil on. He said, man, Joe T, I apologize. Look, Joe, man, I apologize, man. My stomach been messed up, man. This food, all this stuff I've been eating for years, putting this junk in my stomach, man. These folks had to flush me out, man. I'm just sitting here on the phone, man. I'm sitting here on the phone talking to baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting on the phone talking to baby, man. And next thing you know, my stomach, I'm talking about stomach talking to me. I told her, I said, baby, I got to use the bathroom. She told me, go ahead, because you know your stomach. Joe T, I looked at the violation. You was sitting right there with your son. I said, man, they probably talking like, you know what I'm saying? I was just going, no, that's why I ain't have my pants all the way down. You know what I'm saying? Usually I get all the way naked. You know, when I get on the toilet, I said, man, I'm just going to pull it down, push it on out. You know what I'm saying? No, you would have never knew. But y'all walked in on me, man. What going on? I said, yeah, man, you said you done whoop my dad, and I'm finna have to whoop you by sitting on this toilet, man. What's up? He was like, man, what's up there, little Joe? What's up there, little Joe? I said, man, watch out real quick, Dad. Let me get your revenge back. My dad said, man, quit playing with my son, man. He said, man, why you tell my son that? He said, man, I did whoop you, man. he said, man, when you whoop me? He said, man, go on, tell him what happened. My dad is like, so he said, boo, so we down Brushy Mountain. It's a brother down there that just always running his mouth. I done put him in V. He done moved this part, come back to this part. They still vouch for him and giving him POA, losing POA. He disrespectful to he just running it hot all the time. But we could never get rid of the brother because the brother was really, you know what I'm saying, solid dude. So I'm watching the dude who done pooped. I'm watching, let me tell you, I'm watching Five who done pooped in here, right? I'm watching the pooper, right? He sitting there, he like, man, couldn't stand that dude, man. I'm talking about Joe T, couldn't stand that dude. My dad said, I couldn't stand him either. He was like, man, I ain't leave me no choice, Joe T. He said, man, we done went over this for years, man, talking about that situation. He got what he deserved, point blank, period. So I'm like, what happened? He said, man, Fire say, so we playing spades one day, right? We playing spades. Now I lost my mama, you know what I'm saying? I lost my mama, right? So we playing spades, everybody aware, you know what I'm saying, how I lost my mama. You know what I'm saying? He a dope boy, little hustler, whatever, right? But he betting on ice. You don't know what that means. Let me know you ain't been paying attention to my story. If you ain't been paying attention to my stories, I advise you to go back and listen to my story. But a lot of times people gamble in the penitentiary on saying, I'm gonna go get it, it's in the sale, when the whole time they really just hoping to come up. So he gambling, you know what I'm saying? He ain't really got it. I done ran it up on, but I already knew. He said, Joe T, he said, man, I already knew he didn't have it, but I'm getting the best of him. I'm just knowing I'm finna really put the squeeze on him, because I already know, you know what I'm saying, in GD law, policies, and guidelines, you know what I'm saying, that they don't supposed to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? One of the things about being an opposition, you know what I'm saying, and having an opposer to what you believe in, you supposed to know everything about them so you can know how to, you know what I'm saying, fight them at their own game, which is true. Commercial break me, please. If you have an enemy, you should study them just as much as you've observed your friends, because it's the enemy movements you need to know how to move against. So if you pay attention to the scripture, and people always say, well, the devil knows the word. If the devil knows the word, then he can say something fluttering if you got itching ears to make you believe it's the truth, because he's familiar with the lingo, how to say it, and how to come off and impersonate what it is that you believe enough to deceive you. Wolf in sheep clothes. Same thing when it came to, if y'all ever heard me talk about John Yanders that was at Wilder. John Yanders was a vice lord, TVL, if I'm remembering right? Now he was Ghost. So, but he portrayed to be GD. But then by the time, I can't remember exactly what happened, they found out the whole time he was vice lord, the whole time he done infiltrated, got all this information, was teaching it to his people to find them so they would know how to, you know what I'm saying, whatever they needed to do when it came to their opposition. A lot of times it's smart to do, it's wise to do, so you can understand the war tactics of what's going on. You got to study your enemy just as much as you observe people around you that you halfway don't trust. So he explained that. He was like, so I already knew, you know what I'm saying, y'all gonna put the squeeze on him if that's what he out here doing, knowing that he can't pay it. So he say, you know, we always talking crazy, and you know what I'm saying? He say something under his breath, you know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. And I kind of catch it. Sound like he say something about my mama, right? And I at that, ain't no game. I'm done. My dad said, yeah. He said, yeah. My dad said, my dad and them wasn't around at the time. So he said, man, he walking away from the table, and he say, you know what I'm saying, something about my mama again. I leave it alone, because I already had it in my mind what I'm going to do to him, right? I already had in my mind what I'm going to do to him. He done said something. I said, well, you don't know what he said? He basically was trying to say if he was out there, he would have served and whatever, you know what I'm saying, however I don't even want to say all that, you know what I'm saying, because I don't like, you know what I'm saying. But he saying he would have gave her whatever it was, you know what I'm saying, that, you know what I'm saying, that if I want to go, you know how people get when they get disrespectful, I put you with your mama and all this old stuff. I ain't trying to get into all that, but you know what I'm saying. So my mind, I'm like, don't crash out, boom. It's 99 ways to skin a cat. So I go into my cell, I go in and I'm venting to my celly, right? I'm venting to my celly, he 5'2". He telling me, you know what I'm saying, that Go holler at the G's, you know what I'm saying, get you a one, all this old stuff. I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna take this dude out. You know what I'm saying? We in the penitentiary, man. This man done said, you know what I'm saying, he would have, you know what I'm saying, because he couldn't pay, you know what I'm saying, he feeling some type of way. He done got disrespectful, right? So if I asked me what I want to do at this point, you know, this is my brother. He ready to AA me. You know what I'm saying? He hand me a knife. I said, nah, I don't need a knife. I said, I'm going to get him. So I ended up waiting 2-3 days, right? I'm still waiting to hear how you and my, because this story ain't got nothing to do with you and my daddy as of yet. He said, man, Joe T, Lil Joe, I come out, you know, 2-3 days later, he's sitting down chilling, no. He playing cards. They gambling. I done walked around 2-3 times. I took it as disrespect that he ain't even cutting his eye to watch me out of his peripheral. As if he ain't created an enemy and he's safe in here. And you done said something disrespectful. Now, I don't like that. At least make me feel like you gotta watch me because you disrespected me. You done went to the next level and made it as if I'm some kind of sucker in here. You can talk to me any kind of way and disrespect my mama. So, Joe T, I'm walking around. I get behind him. I stop. This how I know he wasn't watching me. I stopped where I'm behind his back. By that time, penitentiary rules in effect. If you count my footsteps and you pay attention to how fast I'm moving, you know at a certain point of time, I'm supposed to be in this corner of the eye over here, making this way right here. How you ain't turned around to see where I went? You ain't heard no door close or nothing. So I'm standing behind him. By the time he ain't turned around looking like that, I said, today the day. Today is the day. I look around and I'm counting how many G's in the par, right? But they all over the way where they at. Where my cell at, I got enough time to get him in the cell, right? I don't know what he meant at the time about getting into the cell. It's a couple of brothers standing around, some Aryan nations, you know what I'm saying? They playing cards with some Crips, right? So I slowly walk up. By the time I'm thinking maybe he feels something on his back, he still ain't moved. I done caught a little speed. He like, you know, when you put that one leg down and you able to get your posture together, you know what I'm saying, get your back work together, you know what I'm saying, you come from back here. Man, my dad is just standing right there like this here. I remember like yesterday, he said, man, Lil Joe, I hit him. Boom. When I connect, boom. I grab him and drag him to the cell, go in the cell and boom, secure the door. Everybody looking like what's going on. He out of it. He woo. Man, I beat him. I'm talking about so bad in there. I get him up, boom. Because by this time, now everybody coming over and looking and seeing what's going on. I'm hitting on the window. Well, I'm wondering, he said disrespecting the folk like this all over again. Like, and he going over. So my daddy say, the guys running over there, they, man, open the door, fire them. What's going on? What's going on? But the way he doing it, this could escalate right here in the pod and turn into the guys against the people. That simple. So they running, he said, everybody, they running to get this and get that. Ain't nobody went and got the police here and they're punishing him. I'm probably almost out of here. My dad said, yeah, they come over to the cell, boo. Hey, Joe T, man, G be the reason, folks. G be the reason. He said, man, my dad said, man, I jumped up wondering what's going on. I popped the door. I'm finna come out. They rush in. They rush, man, he over, boo, telling me everything. And I'm like, who? I'm trying to figure out what's going on with it. Don't nobody know nothing. Don't nobody know why it happened. Fired them. So by the time we come out of the cell, some of the folks over there arguing with firing them. They got knives out. The police ain't saying nothing, boo. Police ain't saying nothing. I'm like, man, I'm walking right in the middle of a war. So by that time, I'm not knowing. The brother knocked out enough. Man, 5, open the door, 5, slid him out. Man, hey, man, he disrespected me, man, disrespected my mama. Man, my mama dead, man. Man, I told him, at that point, 5 folk them, they like, man, we don't care. By this time, it's finna pop off. My daddy say, man, hold on. Wait, hold on, because of what? It's finna go down. A couple, they done grabbed each other. Hold on, hey, hold on. They going in the cell to explain what's going on. 5. So my daddy say, we all in the cell trying to see what they done got the brother, you know what I'm saying, to pull him, you know what I'm saying, to bring the brother, you know what I'm saying, wherever, you know what I'm saying, take him in the cell or whatever. He said, man, disrespect my dead mama, man. Man, I told him I was going to get him. Man, I told him I was going to get him. Five of them say, man, bro, look, man, the brother been telling me for 2-3 days. Brother, my daddy say, man, brother say, man, sluck, man, we want to see every one of y'all, man. That's always, we ain't got to go to war, but every one of y'all everybody got to line up, man, line it up. Everybody gonna get it, man. You sluck, bro, in the park. We ain't got to go to war and lock down the whole unit. Man, we want to see everybody. My daddy said, now that's how we ended up getting into it. They want to line up everybody. I'm still waiting to hear what's going on. He said, so everybody pick somebody to go in the cell. They go in the cell, pat down, boom, boom, boom. Everybody went in cells. My daddy say, me and him ended up lining up. You know what I'm saying? We pick each other. We gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna defend what happened to the brother in the name of GD, right? So we go in the cell. They done patted us down. We grab each other instantly. He said, man, and then fire take over. He said, man, I told Joe T, man, because I knew Joe T. He said, man, I told him, man, I know how your mama died. I know how your mama died. I know how your mama died. My daddy say, I couldn't even fight him, boo. When he was saying that, he pierced my spirit, my soul. I couldn't do nothing but think about my mama. What I would have done if somebody would have said, whether it been the folks, Crips, Aaron, it didn't matter who it was. I'm in here finna get back for folk. And when he grabbed me, he said, man, I know how your mama died. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I grabbed him, I tell him, man, GD might boom, boom. He said, man, Joe T, man, somebody took my mama the same way you lost yours. He said, at that point, I done let him go. He said, the folks them outside the door, man, take care of business, though, it become a business. My daddy said, man, I turn around, put the violation up. He said, man, we started talking. He said, man, Joe T, I got to spend the rest of my life here. You do too. He said, man, we know what we a part of. We know what we involved in. Not true enough, we got to stand on business because that's what we said in there. But man, we ain't going to sit here and act like that what was said wasn't wrong. He ain't had no business saying that. For one, he was gambling and he ain't had the money. My daddy said, well, you should have came and told us what was going on. He said, man, I'm a man. What I look like at the end of the day, regardless of me understanding what y'all stand on, what we stand on, this man done did what he done did. I know it, Joe T. I already knew he didn't have the money. So it wasn't y'all responsibility. If I knew he didn't have the money, I should have just not been gambling with him. I ain't gonna run the game like that because that ain't who I am. But on the strength of because I was beating the brakes off of him, he couldn't handle it. His pride got in the way and he said something and he wrote a check that couldn't cash. Man, so Joe T, I'm walking around and I see him, and the only thing I'm thinking about is I lost my mama, and it's a man sitting right here in the penitentiary, and he my opposition, but he thinking ain't nothing gonna happen, Joe T. So I drug him in the cell and I taught him a lesson. Now I hate that this even had to happen. You know what I'm saying? That this had to pop off, and y'all had to boom, 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 boom. They beating on those boom, 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 boom. Man, ain't nothing, ain't fine. Boom, 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 boom. Ain't fine. My dad said, man, hold on, man, TP. So they going back and forth. Make a long story short, my dad say, I couldn't put my hands on somebody that I sympathize with. I couldn't get revenge for what it was I done signed my life and pledged to for somebody that I sympathize with. I had grace for this person. I had mercy for this person. I understood this person's hurt. I understood this person's pain. I done went through the same thing. I went months. I went a long time without talking when I lost my mama. If I seen the person that they said done to this day, even though I done changed my life, I don't know what I'd do to him if I seen him. So for this man to sit here and say somebody verbally said something to him after he already couldn't pay the man, what was I supposed to do? Sit here and still fight in the name of Larry, knowing that somebody from Larry done said something they ain't had no business saying? And I'm saying to myself, I know when I pop this dough, they done already said, regardless of my position, we done all agreed, line it up. Take care of the business or become the business. But it wasn't just on the strength of me neither. He was going to get it too. We done already said what it was. 10, 15 brothers done already got to fight. We in here having a conversation. we having a conversation. And both of us had POAs at the time. Both of us in a position of authority. So He said, man, the brother Fire said, man, I broke down. I broke down because, for one, I don't even know if I ever really grieved my mama. I don't even know if I really processed what really happened. Because all my life, all I knew was to keep moving on in life. Keep moving forward. Kept telling myself she gonna want me to move forward, not knowing if I don't really process the pain that I was having. Did it make me numb? It's a difference when you process and release, and you able to move forward knowing you done processed and dealt with what that was. Me being in here, being around savages, I know I just pushed it down. I done suppressed it, and now it's done been triggered. It's done came to the surface, and I done to him what I wanted to do to people that didn't even say what he said. How many times I just done imagine, expressing myself in a brutal way, just doing that to somebody, and then, man, listen, man. So as I'm doing it to him, I can just hear my mama saying, that ain't what I want you to do. That ain't what I want you to do. My daddy said, do you know how many times, even before I came to the penitentiary, that I just felt like I knew my mama was disappointed. Even in what happened, that she no longer here. I'm like, man, she wouldn't have wanted this. I'm knowing why I'm in there doing it to him. She wouldn't have wanted that. That what stopped me several times. I ain't honoring her death by jumping on somebody that's ignorant. I ain't honoring her death by potentially putting myself in a situation where I could have went to the hole. So me and Joey in there discussing, man, I ended up hugging the brother. And we both looked at each other and said, you ready to get this beating? We both said, it is what it is. Man, we take that violation down, pop the door. They running in cell talking about, so the G's done pulled Joe T out. My brothers them got me in there. Man, they done took Joe T over, gave him a violation. I done got a violation. The brothers, man, we came out 2-3 days later. Man, had a big meal, man, to squash that, man. They put the brother in violation, man. The brother moved to another part. You know what I'm saying? Everything was cool. He apologized to me. We sitting there having a big meal, right? Me and Joe T walk over to the side. I asked Joe T, I said, man, I done got you beat up. I done got you beat up. My daddy said, my daddy said, man, we should have just went on and fought each other. We should have went on and fought each other. And Fire he said, nah, we shouldn't. We did what was right. We stood on higher principle than what it is that we done signed over to, man. We discussed it as men. We understood each other. And it wasn't that you wasn't defending GD, and it wasn't that I didn't defend Vice Lord. It was a greater principle involved, and we stood on that, man, and we took that hit, and we still came together, man. We ate, we squashed that, we moved forward, man. We did what we needed to do. But that's why I say, I whooped your daddy because I got him whooped. I got him whooped, man. I got him whooped, man. Had I never grabbed Joe T and said, man, I know how your mama died. Had I never said that, I don't know what would have happened. And they said, my daddy said, you would have been telling my son that I beat the brakes off of you. That's what you would have told. He said, man, what you talking about, Joe T? We still get on right now. I said, man, you think I'm going to let my daddy fight you one-on-one in here after you done sit on that toilet and poop like that? Man, listen to me. Listen, you ain't going to have to poop for weeks the way we're going to stump a hole in your stomach in here. We're going to kick every bit of poop out your stomach. Man, what y'all want to do? 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 We ended up shaking the room. He mad about it and said, my dad said, yeah, man, we used to come over and kick it like that, man. I just didn't feel like it was my business, you know what I'm saying, to tell you, you know what I'm saying, about this, you know what I'm saying, concerning his mama and stuff, because I know how I am about mama, you know what I'm saying, about your granny, man. Regardless of how close I am in there to anybody, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't want them type of stories being shared, you know what I'm saying, if they ain't coming out of my mouth, you know what I'm saying, concerning, you know what I'm saying, somebody as close to me. You know what I'm saying, that I love, you know what I'm saying, that I love my mama, man. I wouldn't want nobody telling no story, then they come back around, especially if it's told wrong, this, and that. So, it's always a time and place for everything, man. That was a good story, man. But I said, why you ain't smacking him or something, though? He was in here, you in the bathroom. My dad said, didn't you just hear that man say what's wrong with his stomach? I said, Dad, he was sitting on our toilet, so you gonna clean it first and foremost. He said, boo. I said, you gonna clean it? He said, we just sit there and talked about being able to sympathize with somebody else's pain. Man, wait, in the penitentiary, Dad. I don't care nothing about sympathizing with that man had to use the bathroom, man. He should have pooped on himself, man. Point blank period, man. He should have pooped on himself, put that phone down, and walked out of here with dude all on his back, man, and said, I'll be back, you know what I'm saying, when I get through cleaning up. Man, sit down on another man's toilet, my dad say, do you know how many butts been on that toilet in there? I said, and that's why you finna clean it right now. I'm through talking to you, man, because you're soft now, man. You want to sympathize with everybody. That's all you want to do, man. That's all you want to do, sympathize with these people. They come over here using the jack and taking using the bathroom at the same time, putting the oil on the lamp and everything, man. This stuff ain't cheap. My dad said, man, go on, I'll walk over down to the cell, right?